So keep relax your body and focus your mind to this bell sound and follow the sound, please. So while you're following the sound mentally, relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing, and let everything to settle down itself. And gently close your eyes, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear Dhamma friends, your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So in the beginning, we're going to relax our body step by step. So when you do the inhalation, exhalation for this exercise, remember to inhale through your nose deeply, gently and slowly, and exhale through your mouth. So bring your attention to your right arm and focus your mind to your right arm. Now deeply, gently breathing through your nose and visualize that all the breath go to your right arm. And breathe out. Focus your mind to your left arm, deeply, gently, slowly breathing. And visualize yourself that all the breath go to your left arm. And breathe out. And your back and spine. Deeply, gently, slowly breathing and visualize yourself that all the breath go to your back and spine. And breathe out. And your abdominal area. Deeply, gently, slowly breathing to your abs. And breathe out. Bring attention to your chest and breathe deeply breathing. And breathe out. Now we focus to your right leg, deeply, gently, slowly breathing. And bring that all the air to your right leg. And breathe out. Now bring attention to your left leg. Deeply, slowly, gently breathing. And breathe out. And your neck and head. Deeply, slowly, gently breathing. And breathe out. And focus your mind to your whole body. Deeply, gently, slowly breathing to your whole body. And breathe out. Again, breathing. And breathe out. One more time. Breathing. And breathe out. Let your body to settle down itself. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, bring attention to your lower part of the body. See, is there any sensation, feelings, tightness, heaviness? If you recognize something, just let it be. Don't change it. And your lower back, just observe. And your upper back and shoulders, And arms, elbows, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. And your chest and abdominal area. And your neck and head. Bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathing, breathe out 3 times. Find the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And keep your attention to that sensation and follow the sensation and recognize inhalation, exhalation separately. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation, knowing that this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is end of the inhalation or exhalation. If you can notice how some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft. Each and every inhalation, exhalation has its own way. and drop all the details with the inhalation, exhalation. Just stay with the feelings or the sensation and see how the sensation change, feelings change. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. And as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself, send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to our day-to-day life, we have to remember more than any other tool in this world, or the weapons, or the machines, or the technology, the one of the best tool that we have within ourselves, that is our mind. We carry the mind, that's why we call as human or the man. So when it say man in English, it included to all the gender, men and women both. And also it can be the worst tool for our own life. So we have to then remember, if you allow that it to go itself, behave itself, and we don't know what kind of situations going to happen in this very moment. So that's why the Buddha has come to this world. That's why great leaders, many spiritual teachers go through certain process and find out certain ways to maintain this mind and come to us and tell the methods or the teachings. And if you want to find the peace, harmony, or the tranquility state, you just cannot let the mind to be itself, like releasing cows to find the grass. You have to maintain yourself knowingly that yourself needs something better than who you are. So when it comes to that moment, the one of the great challenge that we have, so as we know, once we come to the mother's womb, we just come as a kind of like idea. We come as a thought. That thoughts build its entire body. So then you have to remember, each and every cell is a thought. Your all DNA is thoughts. Your muscles, thoughts. Your bones, thoughts. Your blood, thoughts. Everything in your body related to thoughts. So in the very first time, once the thought come as consciousness, so your consciousness able to transform to something as muscles, as bones, as DNA, as blood. It has many ways. Your mind can transform. Your mind has power to become any different ways. Look at this, even this material world. This all the shapes and the patterns and the methods, this everything came through the mind. So that is the beauty of the mind. So once you know that, if you are able to recognize that, you can become whatever or whoever you want to be. But the thing is this, to become yourself somebody rather than just who you are, the very first thing, you have to certain level, you have to stop that what you have already within yourself. Because that what you have already within yourself in your mind, not enough for you to become somebody that you really bring, really bring the self satisfaction to yourself. So that's why you look for something else. So then very first thing that you have to understand, in the depth of your mind, as thoughts, that whatever you carry, that is not capable to bring the self satisfaction to yourself. Then you have to let go that rather than feeding to it. You have to change that thoughts. But that is the most difficult part when it comes to conventional life. Letting go our own mind. We can let go the material things. We can let go all other the positions in life. But the deeper the mental desires or the mind or the thoughts that we carry, we cannot let go. But as I mentioned in the beginning, this everything came out of as a result of that thoughts. But the outside layer we can clean, but inner layer, if we hold the same, what will happen? The same thing going to happen in a different form sometimes. So the samatha meditation is a one way. You stop feeding to your conventional mind. Your tranquility state means you come out of feeding to your thoughts. So once you stop feeding to your thoughts, what will happen? That create a gap inside you to bring some kind of new thoughts or the new ideas to you. So that is very necessary. That is why in the Buddha's teaching, it always say, the path of the wisdom, the very first thing is the Shrutamaya Jnana. Shrutamaya Jnana means the learning, the studying, listening, and bringing new knowledge to yourself. So then we have to be very careful when it comes to knowledge. In this wisdom path, the knowledge mean in conventionally someone else, another idea we take as knowledge. So as I mentioned, how the ideas come, it come as the result of the mind. So someone else conventional mind, if you start to follow, it's not going to take you to the right place. But the Dharma is just completely different. Dharma is not related to the thoughts. We thought the used to recognize the Dharma, but we're not going to manifest ideas through the mind and put the label as Dharma. But there are a lot of things happen like that way. So even the Buddha himself, he declared, this whatever he recognizes is not his own thoughts. In the scriptures, in the sutras, you can find that. So what the Buddha mentioned, whoever the previous Buddhas, even in the history that we know, we have 28 Buddhas, that each and every Buddha, themselves, they never give any ideas to the world. What they didn't, they developed their mind to drop all the habitual patterns or the thoughts or the related with the mind and make their mind completely clear to see the very nature itself. That is the Dharma, not the knowledge, not the kind of like created ideas, but mostly in the Western, with this Western influence, and they'll created a lot of ideas. And but the thing is, when as ourselves, when we follow someone else's ideas, then what is happening? The same result going to happen inside us, and not we recognizing the Dharma. So that's why sometimes you can find the many books too, in conventionally you can become successful, but that successful people also finally get depressed, unhappy, sad, worry. So the reason is that whatever the wisdom or the knowledge in conventional life, not built with the Dhamma. So then you have to be very careful in life. When you empty your mind from your own thoughts, and when you create the gap, and when you fill that gap from the outside wisdom or the knowledge, don't put someone else ideas on it. The same thing going, there is nothing different you and someone else. Maybe in the surface level, in colors you see it is different, but that all related with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. But if you able to see the real truth or the Dharma, and if you replace that space with the Dharma, that is what the wisdom, that is where you go to wisdom. So the Srutamaya Jnana means listening that and gaining that real wisdom. So from where you can find it? By listening, you cannot find mostly today. Why? Because listening mostly, and that the people brings their ideas. And they think that they are followers and they need their ideas. And other thing is, the people, some people, students and the listeners always believe whatever the other person says, even the monks or the guru. So there are some people like that. So then yourself, you have to be very careful in this path. So when it comes to the tranquility, that's why the meditation is necessary. Because the meditation allow you to not to depend from any thoughts, allow your mind to become completely free from thoughts. So that freedom is allow you to help you to when you open your mind and come out of the meditation, when you become clear with the mind, when somebody says something, by hearing yourself, you able to recognize, is it related with the truth or is it related with an idea? So then it is that understanding, it's kind of like a self-realization yourself. So that is very need in this path. So you always remember, whatever the idea that we have in our mind, it come from the samsaric journey, it has power to it's like the fire, you know, it has power to spread everywhere. So look at your body, this each and every, how many cells, how many atoms in your body, trillions, that each and every atom cells is your thoughts. It is not a physical structure or the independent entity that exists somewhere separately from you. No, it all behave according to your thoughts, and everything came out of your thoughts. See how powerful it is. How about if you get into wrong idea, what will happen? This entire trillion cells, and the risky part is it is still creating things. So maybe when we have the wrong ideas, with that wrong ideas, when we build up the body, then what will happen? And you transfer it to through the reproduction to another child, another life, and it go like that way. So it happened. So that's why the right view is important in even day-to-day life for you. And you, as you know, your body every day become new physically. Every 10 years, your entire whole body completely reborn. So you have opportunity completely become very new person within few years. If you really focus yourself, you can completely erase all the history that we carry, and you can completely make something, you can rebuild something new, brand new model inside you. And you can come with the physical model. How? Start with the thought. Get into right thoughts and related with the dharma, not the people's ideas. And we don't know in what sense that people give that ideas. So get into dharma, and you have good opportunity today. And whatever you listen and see how it related with the teachings of the Buddha. And it is available today, whatever the sutra you see, whatever the ideas you hear, and you just put little time for it and go into the main Buddha's teachings. And so there you recognize even the sutras, because certain clarity you need, even you read the sutras or even you listening to something, it is important once you keep the clarity in your mind. Even sometimes if the sutra is wrong, you can recognize that also. That is the power as a students that the Buddha gave to you. Not to believe always, oh, I follow the Buddha, or telling his name, or so the keeping the statue and worshipping and doing the puja. No, that is the real wisdom that Buddha gave to you. When only thing is you have to have the very clear mind. Because once you have the clear mind, even the sutra is wrong, you can recognize it. And as we know that when it comes to Buddha Bhashita, so that is the word that in the Tripitaka we use. And it's kind of like it's when it's the Buddha Bhashita means it's a Buddha's word. But the Buddha's word not came through his own mouth. There are that the Savaka Bhashita, there are many other the department in that Tripitaka. And the Deva Sangyukta, And there are some deities gave the certain ideas, and there are some other monks thought certain things. Buddha validate that. So how we know that the Buddha validate it? Not, we don't know. It is just only the record. But what the Buddha said, Buddha gave the best tool, because no matter whatever happened, and what the Buddha said, keep the clarity in your mind. And with that clarity, when you see something, even the sutra, you're going to see what this is. So otherwise, and don't just go with the surface level of whatever. Remember, the best tool that you first you have to have, keep the clarity in your mind, how you can do it. In the first level, develop certain tranquility state your mind every day. Keep the gap. And don't fill with ideas. Even stay silence, even stay relaxed, and just try to find a little bit gap. So in that gap, you're going to see what is the truth. That is the power of the human mind. So when it comes to Srutamaya Jnana, that is what the Buddha mentioned. So you have to find that gap. Not all Srutamaya Jnana is not always listening something and getting something. Then your mind going to become always busy. So the Srutamaya Jnana is the becoming disciplined to study, learn. So in the ancient time, people always listening and learn, not by reading books or anything like that. So then when they listen, what they should have, the first thing, the clear attention and intention and the attention. So if there is no intention with the attention, so whatever they hear, it doesn't work. So see, that is the first step for the wisdom path. So then always remember, trust yourself, trust your mind. Another thing is, if you really look for the path of the wisdom and find a little gap, always don't fill with thoughts, don't fill with thoughts. And today there are many Dhamma talks, many teachings, a lot of things available today. And because of lot of information, we going to lose the truth sometimes. That is what happening. It's happen all the time. So see that there are games sometimes. You hide the something most valuable thing with all unvaluable things. And then you have to find it. So it is a kind of like a wisdom game. How you, without getting disturbed from that unnecessary things, how you going to get the right thing. It is a deeper method, that the wisdom method. Why? Because ordinary people very easily get attached to this outside and get disturbed, and they lose the truth. In our countries, there is a game like when a New Year time come, we have New Year festivals. So then they call it kind of like that the Sangaunu Amutta. The Sangaunu Amutta means they mention, they find a special character from the group of people. And no one knows, they pick one person and tell and give a title to you. Okay, you are going to be this person. So you have to go to the crowd and stay with the crowd. And then they announce, and there is a special person in this crowd. If anybody find that, we're going to give a prize. So then all the children and start to look, and each and every character observe very carefully. So it is see that a lot of people around us, but we not going to get disturbed out of this other people. If you get disturbed, you're going to find the wrong person, and then you lose the game. So then everybody, and not become hurry to pick a person. Oh, this person should be that character. Oh, this person should be. No, they wait, they observe, they go behind them, and it's kind of like there is a king in this group. Can you find? So that person need to behave like a king, little bit. And then other people go and find each and every action, monitoring. So that is what the, finally somebody will find. So it's the same thing in the wisdom path. So look today, everybody come and tell, oh, this is true, this like that. And everybody, it's just the camera and on and you go to all over the world. And but the people, there are people follow them and believe them. It's so kind of like that. So then you have to be very careful. So feel that why the feeling the ideas with other ideas not going to work. You're going to miss the point because you're going to get disturbed out of it. So then the very first thing in the meditation, tranquility state of the meditation, the samatha meditation. So you finding the gap. Keep the empty space. And in that empty space, in that empty mind, whatever come as perception to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you're going to recognize as it is. You have that power. That is the power of the human mind. That is the true gift that you have. Not reading someone else's book and understand, not that gift. Don't misunderstand that. Reading a book and understanding, going to a teacher and learning, it is common knowledge. That's why how this educated people become terrorists. Anybody can brainwash. Even look the universities, they go, they study very well, they get good marks and they go to university and they go, finally they end up with the political party. How it is possible? Why it is happening? Because the mind, that is not the true power. We think of reading a book and going to exam and learning something, passing exam, getting a degree, that is the true power. No, that is not the true power of the mind. The true power of the mind, without any thought, without influence by any thoughts, you have power to get into the real truth and recognize things as it is. So if you develop it to vipassana, and it is beyond that true power, that is what in the samatha level you see how things as it is. In the vipassana level, you recognize how things come to be as they are. So that is the real wisdom that you have to focus. So then remember in your mind, don't tangle with the outside thing. People say beautiful things, that is good. People say nice things, that is good. And people say nasty things, bad things, that is okay. But it doesn't matter from the good or bad. Don't get disturbed. Keep the tranquility state. You can do it. How you can do it? You have to train your mind like a muscle. You have to train your mind same like a muscle. Every day, develop certain consistency, keep doing. Another thing is you have to trust. You have to believe. And you have to work for that. Early morning, you have to believe yourself that you can do something. Otherwise, the whole day going to become miserable. The Alan Watts, the one of the Western great teacher, and his certain articles that he have, thoughts for morning and night. And in one article it says that early morning, that whatever thoughts come to you, and it doesn't matter how powerful the sun, that's a very beautiful word, how powerful the sun that day, it has power to give the light to half of the world, but one miserable thought can bring the darkness to you, that even that sun cannot light your heart. See? So then always you have to remember, even this hot daylight, maybe one thought can create the darkness that no one can help. That is the power of the mind. Another part of that article, reverse the pattern. It doesn't matter even the dark hole, and the black hole that you caught up in that black hole in the middle of the darkness in this universe. If you are able to find one thought related with the wisdom or the light, it has power to, bring the light to the dark universe. So the same like the Buddha, look, he's a one character. We say Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, at least, saying that way, we appreciating him that way, we become refuge to kind of that person should bring us kind of like a motivation or the help us to go create a path ourselves. When we say Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, it is not just going, behind holding his pictures or no. Follow his footprints. Can we do that? Even just the idea to get what he did. So that's why sometimes when you have time, you have to read his character. That as a person, how he was. Not all the sutras or with the devotion, whatever the literature developed. No, just the very plain recorded, the information. That is where sometimes you find real gems without adding any colors or the shapes. And that is where you see when you say Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, how deep it should be and how beautiful it is. And also that yourself, how it can take you to wisdom. And the Dhamman Saranang Gacchami means not following ideas. That's why the Dhamman Saranang Gacchami means it deeply the gap that you filled with the true nature. So to get into that, the very first thing you have to take out some garbage and you have to make some space. And then you have to fill that little by little. Every day, at one time overnight we cannot do it, but little by little we have to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. But somehow you have to have this effort and do it a little bit. And when we say Sanghan Saranang Gacchami, there are a lot of enlightened masters. There are a lot of monks, nuns, lay people, the followers. There are a lot of people. Even it is nothing to do with the category of Buddhist. That there are a lot of people, even they have no idea about what is Buddhism, but still they follow this and they completely transform and opening their heart, taking out all the history, whatever they carried, they let go that everything and they become devoted to completely to the Dhamma. That is where the follower you find. It is not kind of like that brainwashing or kind of like a missionary vision and having the change people. Like, no, it's not like that. Whatever the people maybe keep doing, at least for a few hours, and completely you transform and you give your life to the truth or the reality or the Dharma. And that is where you find your deeper inner change. So that is very necessary. Remember that you have to change your mind. Don't go with this same mind. So when you able to do that way, and you will see how it's going to happen. You need certain effort. It is not easy. During Buddha's time, one of the senior disciple, Venerable Sariputta, he had a very young monk, student monk, and both of them went to the forest to practice meditation. It little bit closer to the city, and they went to this new monk. So Venerable Sariputta went with him. And somehow early morning. So after a while they practiced meditation. This young monk was so tired, he didn't get any result. And he was practicing meditation, and then One day he thought, I want to give up this. This doesn't work for me, this monkhood life. So, but somehow that day early morning with Venerable Sariputta, he went to the city to find food. Then on the way, he saw a carpenter. And then he was looking this carpenter, how he bringing trees and cutting and shaping it and making things. And he asked from Venerable Sariputta, what is that? Then the Venerable Sariputta sort to mention, oh, it is a carpenter. This is what he do. So then this monk start to think, oh, look, how beautiful this mind. This, unmovable trees, there is no shape. These people bring it and cut it, shape it, and make beautiful things out of this wood. If the people can transform the wood to that kind of beautiful things, why ourselves we cannot transform our mind? And he start to think, and he stopped going further looking for food. He right away turned back and went to the temple and start to practice meditation. So because he got motivated in that moment, and now it's giving power to inside him. So then now he in the track. So the next day he came again to the village. So then that day he went to another side of the village. Then they saw farmers from low land, they take water to high land. So it is a method that how the farmers know, because the very nature of the water from high land, it always go to low lands. But the farmers can, take the water from low level to high land. And then this young monk start to observe that and had a discussion with Venerable Sariputta. And then he start to think, see, the very nature of the water, and from higher to go lower. But this human mind, these farmers, and they able to get this water from the low land and bring it to higher land and do the farming. How beautiful. If they can transform, change the nature, the behavior of the water, and how as humans, why we cannot change our mind. And right away that day also he stopped, going for food, turned back and went to the temple and practiced meditation. And then now he filling the gap with the Dhamma, So then the next day he went back again to another side of the village. And that day they went to a ironsmith, and they pass him by. One person, making some things, beating to irons and burning it, beating it. So then this young monk had a discussion, and seeing that, and had a discussion with Venerable Sariputta, and start to think, look, this iron, that movable, no shape, very rough, heavy irons. People put it to fire and beating it and shaping it. And then they make different kind of things, and people use then this iron and as tools. So how beautiful the mind, and people able to transform these things to different shape. So as human being, then why ourselves we cannot transform our mind? And that day also the monk turned back and went to the temple and practiced meditation. So after third day, he attained to the enlightenment. See, if that he give up that everything, and he just go back to his ordinary life, that means he carry his ordinary mind. What he did, he didn't put the people's ideas. That is what you have to say. He observed something and recognized the true raw organic nature of the world. In mostly we read books, we listen to talks, and we listen to music, or we watch documentaries, mostly artificial, human created things. That is why it cannot bring the real satisfaction to us. we have no ability mostly to get into the raw level of the Dhamma or the teachings of the knowledge. Because if you get into very little thing to recognize as it is, that is enough for you to heal your entire sansaric journey and transform you to the Nibbana. So only thing is finding that right little gap is the important part. So for that, remember little by little, find the gap without feeding with the thoughts, and start to learn to be settled down in the very first time. It's like a develop the tranquility state, and from there start to to get into the direct perception. It called sati sampajanya. And don't add thoughts. Learn to add certain Dhamma to yourself. That is where you're going to find the real truth within yourself. And that is where you're going to find the real truth around you. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu. Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.